Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be showing you some new makeup products that I showed you guys previously in this video right here, which is one of my biggest hauls that I've done. It is a Sephora and Ulta haul. If you haven't seen it, you can check that one out first. But today I'm going to be using some of these products, and I'm also going to be mixing in some makeup that I already have that I use every single time I do my makeup. I am going to be using the Huda Beauty Toffee palette, which is the one that I was the most excited about out of all three of the browns collection. And then I am going to be using some of, like I said, the new products that I did show in that video. So I hope you guys are excited to see some new makeup. Okay, so I am gonna start from the very beginning. I haven't done any skincare or anything like that. Also, I haven't done my brows, but I did tell you guys that I did get them done. So they're completely healed now. I am gonna have a full video on the process. In that video, I'll show you the before, the day that I got them done, and then 10 days later, because it does take about 10 days for them to completely heal where you can't wet them and stuff. So anyways, that's gonna be a future video, but I'm gonna get my touch up in July. So I'll do the entire video, like the entire process all in one video. That way I don't do them separately. So anyways, I am going to start with the eyebrows, but I'm not going to do much to them. They are shaped like, they are filled in, I mean, like if they were hair strokes. So there's not really much that I have to do anymore. Just brush them out like that, and then I do line them on the bottom. And then later I will add some clear wax. But I did that the other time where I applied the wax before my concealer, and it looked kind of like faded. So like it got mixed in with the concealer and it didn't look good. It looked kind of faded, so I didn't like the way that looked. So what I'm gonna do is just underline the bottom. Just lining them on the bottom makes the eyebrows look a lot cleaner, and then it just doesn't show like my skin tone underneath it, you know. There, it's like I completely filled them in and I don't even have to do much anymore. What I like is that they just look like hair strokes, so they look really, really natural. And I'm also really happy with the color that they faded into, because they were a little bit darker. I knew they were gonna fade, but they actually look the exact color as my hair. So there is my primer. And like I said, I'm gonna start with the eyes first because I do want to remove any fallout that I get. I did do the eye swatches on these. I don't know if they're up yet, but if they're not, they will be soon. I did the eye swatches, and some of the glitters do have a lot of fallout, so you'll notice that. Different palettes have like the different type of glitter. Some are a little bit more sheer, some are just like a really nice wet looking shimmer. Okay, and then I'm also gonna apply my lip balm because I feel like my lips look pretty dry, and this is gonna make them look red because it is the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme. Okay, so today I kind of want a very warm look, but I'm also gonna add a little bit of that yellow. I think that one's like super, super pretty. So I'm gonna use this one on the corner first. It's a warm brown, but it is pretty intense. And I do tap off the excess because it does have a little bit of fallout if you apply it without doing that. And I am just gonna apply this all over the eyelid. I'm gonna pack it on. Yesterday I did a look with the Natasha Denona palette, and it was such a pretty look. I really like the greens in that palette, and I really wanted to use them. I have that one packed on, and then I'm going to take my little bitty blending brush, and I'm going to use the yellow, and I'm going to go over this edge right here and just slowly and lightly start blending it out, because I do want that yellow to pop out blending it towards the eyebrow. These blend out so good. Even though this is like a really intense dark brown, it still blends out really good. But I am going to go in with a little bit of brown and a little bit. I just kind of want to show you like how I do the eye looks whenever I use a dark color first. I don't always start with like a transition shade or like a light beige transition shade that matches my skin tone. Okay, so now that I have those two colors, I'm going to take a cleaner blending brush. They're not like super clean because I use them, but I'm going to go over the yellow. I'm going to take a little bit more yellow since this one's a little bit more of a fluffy brush. Yeah, it's looking really pretty. This is exactly the yellow tones that I love on my eyes, especially mixing them with brown. It just looks really pretty. There is that. And then I'm going to take a like medium-sized blending brush. This is by Morphe. It's one of my favorites. It's the M514, and I have a few of these because I like them so much. And now I'm using that dark brown, so I'm just gonna go over, and I'm gonna keep it low, but I'm gonna go over the brown edge because it's not blended out yet, like completely. But this is gonna help blend into the yellow. And just lightly, barely have to swipe back and forth whenever you're using like a very dark shade to blend in with the lighter shade. And I don't want to take away too much of the yellow, so I'm gonna go over the yellow one more time. I'm gonna make sure I go all the way to the inner corner and all the way out. It had been a while since I had done colorful looks, or not even colorful looks. Oh, my shirt, it always does that. These are like a little bit too long. Not even colorful looks, just full looks. You know, I had been using just like one shade all over the eyelid, so it's nice to do these looks again. And I'm gonna go in with the brown just a little bitty bit, and again go over the brown edge. So that's all I'm gonna do for the blending and for the yellow and the brown and stuff. Now I'm gonna use, I don't know what shade yet. I was thinking of maybe this one, but it's a little bit too like a yellow gold. I'm gonna go into this one right here, and that's the one that I'm gonna use on my eyelid. I'm gonna take that orange gold right here with one of these synthetic brushes, and I'm just gonna spray a little bit of Prep and Prime. I'm gonna keep this shimmer mainly in the center, but I'm gonna spread it out towards the edges a little bit. And one more time with my packing brush, I'm gonna take a little bit of the brown and go over these edges. This is just a really easy way to create a halo without having to use a concealer to like cut it or anything like that. And I had used all of these already because like I said, I did the eye swatches, but not on a look like this, like I'm doing it today, and it just looks so pretty. You can see though that it does have fallout. So that's why I wanted to do the eyes first today. I'm thinking on the bottom, I'm mainly gonna do yellow and orange just to like warm it up a little bit more so it's not so dark, but it looks really pretty. I like how the top turned out. I did get some fallout, especially, I did get some from the matte, but especially from these shimmers. Look at that. Now that I'm like taking it off, you can see it a little bit more. Okay, so I am excited for the face because like I said, I do have a bunch of new makeup that I'm going to be using. First, I'm going to start with the avocado serum that I got from Glow Recipe. And this one is cold. I had it in my skincare fridge and I like how cooling it feels whenever I put it on my face like this. I also used it last night. Look, now I don't have to worry about my, my eyebrow coming off in the center. I also used it last night after I removed my makeup and everything. I finally tried the new products that I showed you in the haul video. The makeup remover wipes from the makeup eraser. I also tried the little face cleaner that I showed you. Right, so there is the serum. It does feel a little bit sticky afterwards, but not like in a bad way or anything. Super cooling. And then I'm gonna go in with my face moisturizer. So you apply your serum first. This one is, by the way, my Super Goop every single day, and it's just a moisturizer with SPF. I always have to wash my hands afterwards because this one just leaves my hands like really sticky. Now I'm gonna use my makeup primer, which is the Huda Beauty Water Jelly. I always apply about 2 pumps of this and then just spread it all over my face. So next up, I'm gonna go in with my color correcting concealer, and this one is the Bright Fix by Fenty Beauty. I do have it in the color Peach, which is number 9, and I'm gonna use this one like I do my Benefit Bowing concealer that I use all the time for color correcting. This one is a little bit more liquidy, so I'm not really used to it, but it does have like this pretty round applicator, and I'm just gonna go directly from the tube to my face. I got some on my hand, so I'm gonna just apply it right there. This is the color Peach, so it is a little bit orangey. And usually I use the Benefit Bowing, but it's pink, which gives me more of like a brightening effect. So I think that's enough because whenever I swatched it, it was pretty intense. Like you could see it, it gave a lot of coverage on my hand and everything, like the swatch that I did. So I don't think I need that much. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend it out with my beauty blender. It feels really creamy, and it does look pretty orangey. Oh look, it really did cancel out the purple that I have underneath and like everything around my nose and stuff. It looks really good, and it feels good too. It's like really creamy. It's blending out nicely. I don't have to do too much to it. I'm gonna go all the way into the inner corner because that always looks a little dark for me too. Ooh, that looks really pretty, and it blended out nicely. I like that. And it's a lot easier to blend out than my creamy one. Even though I love it, I use it all the time. It's like something I have been using for many years. This one is a lot easier to blend out. The other one, it's because it is a cream product, so it's a little bit thicker. But look at how nice that looks. And it does have like a glowy finish to it, which I don't think it would matter underneath your makeup, but just so you know. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this new foundation, the KVD Beauty Good Apple Foundation. This one is in the shade Light number 8. So I think it's a little bit too light for me, but it's fine because I'm gonna use bronzer and all of that. So I'll try to make it work. I haven't used it, I just swatched it, and I'm excited to try it because it is a very, very full coverage type of foundation. I swatched it in a previous haul video too, but I haven't even used it. So I'm gonna take my beauty sponge and just go into the foundation directly. You can see right there, I do have redness on my cheeks, and well, not anymore underneath my eyes or my nose because it already got canceled out with the other one, which worked out really good. Like, I'm really happy with the way that this looks. So let me go over this. Okay, that I didn't even grab that much, and that is really, really, first of all, it's really light for me, way too light for me, and it's really full coverage for sure. Let me grab some more from this side, try to drag it to this side. Wow, that is light. Okay, I did pick it just from the swatches, but I didn't think it was gonna be this light on me, because I picked it whenever I had darker hair, and I just chose the model that kind of just resembled me the most, you know? Well, it's not too bad. It actually does match my neck and stuff. And then once I go in with bronzer, it'll look a lot better, but let me grab a little bit more, just a little bit. I almost did it way too much. And I'll go over here. Here I have like some pimples. So let's see how good of the coverage is. It's not gonna cancel it out, but let's see how much coverage it gives. Okay, so I'm not gonna apply too much. You can still see like my pimples there, but I don't want it to be like too thick on my face to where it looks cakey. Not bad, easy to blend out and everything. It looks pretty good. It's not a matte finish. It's kind of glowy. I am gonna go over it with powder and everything, so I'm sure it's gonna look a little matte later. But so far, it looks pretty good. So I'm also gonna use a cream product for my bronzer first, and this one is by NARS. I did use this one in a previous video, and I have been using this one. This one's really easy to blend. I'm just gonna apply it everywhere that I apply the bronzer, and I always use a brush to apply it first, and then I go in with the beauty blender to blend it out. And like I said, this one is by NARS. This one is the Laguna Sunkissed Bronzing Cream. I also like to apply this one on the sides of my nose, and I'm gonna apply a little bit down here. And this is what's gonna bring my face back to life because right now I look like just like flat, you know? So now I'm gonna use my beauty blender to blend it out. And this product is really easy to blend out. It doesn't dry too quickly to where you don't have time. So you can take your time with this one. There you go, it looks so pretty. And then I'm gonna use the Natasha Denona Puff Paint Liquid Blush Serum. And this one is also a tan color. It's actually called tan. They do have two other options of this, but I'm gonna go directly on my cheek with it. And I'm gonna try it on one side first. This is more of a peachy tan type of blush, so it might look a little bit like the bronzer. Let me see. I'm gonna try blending it out with one of these blending brushes and see how it works. Okay, that's blending out pretty easily. Looks really, really glowy, easy to blend out with a brush. And it's a nice color too. And since I'm going for something really bronzy on the eyes and on the face and everything, that's why I wanted to use this blush, because it doesn't have any tint of pink or purple or red or anything like that. So there you go. That looks really pretty. Really pretty, really glowy. If you don't set it, I'm sure this would look just nice and glowy. I am going to set it though, but I don't think I'm going to apply any product on top of this. I am going to apply a powder bronzer, but not a blush, because I kind of want to keep this color. It's really, really pretty. So I'm going to apply a little bit more, see how good it builds up, and then go over it with this brush again. I didn't think this brush was actually going to blend it out this good, but it is. I was going to go over it with the beauty blender. Okay, that's enough before I go overboard. But it is really, really pretty. I like the color. It's exactly how it looks. Not too pink, not red, nothing like that. It just gives that pretty brown, bronzy look. And I'm going to go ahead and just apply it on this side. I'm going to try it with the beauty blender on this side just to see. Well, it blended out really easily, but I do think the beauty blender took some of the product with it because it is a sponge, so it's going to absorb some of it. But for sure with the brush, it was like good enough. So let me just apply a tiny bit more there, and I'm going to go over it with the brush instead. I like it better with the brush. There you go. So I'm gonna leave it like this. I actually didn't even put my concealer on, like the brightening concealer, before my blush and bronzer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. This is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet, same one I used on my eyelids. And I'm gonna go very close to the lash line because I'm gonna apply some eyeshadow there. And I wanna make sure that I cover up like my skin color so that the eyeshadows can really show up. I'll go over the blush a little bit to blend it into the concealer, but this is how it looks so far. At least it helped me clean up the blush a little bit over here on the edges, but I'm just gonna take my brush. Oh, where's that? Right here. Since it still has a little bit of blush on it, I'm just gonna go up towards the concealer so it can blend in. Okay, so I'm gonna set everything with the Laura Mercier powder, and I'm gonna do baking underneath my eyes, on my nose. I'm just gonna use it with the Beauty Blender. Because it's a translucent powder, it's not gonna give or cover too much of the color that I have underneath. All I'm gonna do with the Beauty Blender right here is just clean up the bronzer here before I go over it with, like, I'm gonna set the entire face, but I'm just drawing this little line because it really cleans it up before I go in with powder and before I go in with the powder bronzer. So now that that is gonna like stay there for a little bit, I'm gonna take more of that powder and just set the rest of my face. And like I said, I'm gonna go over the bronzer here, but since I already did that and it's like kind of baking, it still leaves that clean line there. So for bronzer, I'm gonna use the one from the Anastasia Off to Costa Rica face palette, and I'm gonna use this one right here, which duh, because it's a bronzer. And like I said, since I'm still baking there, it still keeps, I haven't used this one by the way, it still keeps that clean line there. So I'm just gonna apply it right above the line where I have the bronzer. Okay, so that's blending out pretty good. It does have a little bit of shimmer to it. I'm also gonna go around my forehead with it because even though I have bronzer up here, I can't see it that much and I still feel like my foundation looks a little too light. And again, I'm gonna go down here too with it. Now I'm gonna go with the powder brush and just take off where I'm baking, which is really not that much powder, but just whatever is left. Before I go in with highlight, I'm gonna finish off the eyes. And like I said, I want it to look a little yellowy, like a little bit more yellowy than the top. The top looks a little bit more brown. First, I'm gonna take the, actually, let me put eyeliner on. I'm gonna use a brown one. This one is by Benefit. It is the Bad Gal Bang Benefit eye pencil in deep brown. And then I'm gonna go in to that first warm brown shade that I used earlier on the eyelid and just apply this one closely to the lash line. I'm gonna take the yellow one and blend out the edge of the brown. Same thing that I did on top, but I am gonna apply a little bit more yellow just because I want it to show up a little more. Looks really, really pretty. I'm happy with the way that the lower lash line came out. The top, everything looks blended, it looks pretty. So to finish off the eyes, I'm gonna use the highlighter from this palette right here. And I am going to spray it with Prep and Prime just because I like it to be kind of wet when I'm applying it on the inner corner. So I'm just gonna apply it there. This is more of like a bronzy highlight. I am going to apply this on my cheeks right now. Hopefully it's not too dark or too warm for me. But for the inner corner, it looks pretty. Okay, so now I'm just gonna finish up the eyebrows. I'm just gonna brush them one more time. And then I'm gonna use my Anastasia brow wax and just brush them up so they can keep that shape. I'm gonna take a fluffy highlighting brush because from how it looks on the inner corner, it looks like it's gonna be a little dark, and even though I'm going for that bronzy look, I don't want it to have a shadow. I'm gonna play a little bit first and see how that looks. Okay, maybe that didn't pick up any product. Let me try the Anastasia brush. This one picks up the product a little bit better. Okay, it's because it's not super glowy. It's more of a bronzy highlighter. I mean, you can see it, but it's not really, really intense, like glossy almost. So it's not like that. That's why I couldn't really see it, which is good because like I said, it's a little bit of a warmer highlighter. And if it's too dark, then it starts looking shadowy. And I am going to use falsies today. I'm also going to apply the mascara, but before I do, I'm going to set my makeup with the Milk Hydro Makeup Mist. And while that's drying up, I'm going to go ahead and apply my falsies. I'm going to use these by ColourPop. These are in the style Mami. These are the ones that I was wearing in my haul video. And you can see the shape right there. They're really, really pretty, and they're longer in the center than they are on the edges. On the lower eyelashes and the top, so that I can blend them in, I'm gonna use my Hourglass mascara, the Unlocked mascara. So now I have to pick a nude, a nude lipstick, because I think that would like finish off the look really good and like bronzy and stuff, so like a brown nude. Nothing with pink, so let me see if I can find one that doesn't look pink at all. All right, so this is the lip lingerie that I tried in the other video. I think it was this one that looked a little bit more brown, like a light brown nude. This one's called Lace Detail, so let me check. The one that I've used a lot is Candy K from Kylie Cosmetics. This is just a small little liquid lipstick that I got in a set of 2, but that one's a lot darker. I'm gonna try this one. It's Lace Detail, and I'll apply this one first and see how that looks. Let me see. It's a little bit too light, I think. It's pretty, but I feel like it does kind of make me look a little bit washed out. So I am gonna go in with the Kylie one just to give me a little bit of color, because it does look a little bit too light. And I'll go into the inner corners here and just kind of blend it in. Mixing those two is just the perfect combination. So tell me what you guys think. I feel like it came out exactly what I was expecting. That bronzy brown tone to the skin. Everything, including the eyes, the face, the lipstick, just everything turned out just perfect. And I really, really like it. Tell me what you guys think about that palette. I love the shades in there, the yellows, the oranges, and everything. It blended out really nicely. So far from the colors that I've used in it look together, they work out really good. And I don't know if you can tell, but one of my favorite products out of all of the ones that I tried, I didn't even think I was gonna like it this much, is the Puff Paint Serum from Natasha Denona. Is just such a pretty color. It's a nice blush tone that's not too pink or purple or anything like that. So it's different for me because I don't have anything like this. And then the other favorite from this collection, oh no, I was gonna say the palette, but it's actually the color corrector. I almost forgot about it just because it's underneath like all of this, so it doesn't really show, but it did such a good job with canceling out that red or covering up that red. So even though it's a peachy tone, it just worked out so good for me. I'm used to more of a pink undertone for the color correcting or the brightening, but this one is just perfect. Before I go, I actually want to talk about the new products that I tried in today's video to give you like a little overview of what I think about them so far. The products that I just told you that were my favorite, those are my favorite. But the other ones that I'm kind of like is the foundation. It does give me a really nice coverage. Maybe it's just the tone that I got, but it's just like a regular foundation that I already have. It's just a balm, so it does blend out really nicely. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe it's just, like I said, the tone that I got it in. But right now it looks pretty good. It doesn't look too heavy, even though it is a really, really full coverage foundation. I'll use it throughout the day and see what I think about it. But so far it's just okay. But I do like the way that it blends out with the Beauty Blender. Then what else? The Anastasia palette is really nice, but it's not anything too special for me. I didn't use the blush today, which is a really pretty coral shade. The highlighter, I can create this look probably with any other highlight that I have, but I do like the tone of it. So it's a nice bronzy, shimmery highlight. It's just nothing special to it. As well as the bronzer, I feel like my Marc Jacobs does almost the same thing. The Charlotte Tilbury one does the same thing. Hoola bronzer does almost the same thing. It does have a little bit of shimmer to it, but nothing special, like I said. Although it did bring my face back to life after that foundation. So far, I'm also liking this one. I almost forgot about it, but I can't say much because, like I said, it is a skincare product, which takes a little bit longer to try and to see how it works out on my skin. But so far it's nice, especially when it's cold. So if you do have any of these products, stick it in your fridge and see how it feels, see if you like it. And then the other products that I got, I think these are the other two new ones. This one, it's the falsies. It's the ones that I'm wearing right now. They're the ones that I'm wearing right now, and I do like them. They feel good. They look pretty. They're pretty out there. Like, they're not the simple, you know, natural looking eyelashes. They look really pretty, like a going out lash. So I do like them. And like I said, they are longer in the center. So if you have that issue to where you wear the ones that are heavier on the outside and it just makes your eyes look too heavy, try something like this that's a little bit longer in the center of the eye. And then lastly are the lipsticks. Now, even though I don't like every single tone, and it does depend on what makeup look I'm going for, like today this one was just a little bit too light, but I still like the way that they look and the way that they feel. They are kind of hard to take off at the end of the day, but it is really nice, so I do like it. It does transfer, like I said, but mixing it with this one's not new, but mixing it with this one just made it a lot better. Okay, so now I'm done with all of the products. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think of these products if you have tried them or if you're thinking of trying them. Like I said, my favorite one is the blush, and also can't forget about the color corrector. But anyways, you guys, that is everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to check out my haul video, you can see the other new products that I have. I will have a separate doing my makeup with new makeup products in a separate video, because I do have other products that I didn't try today, but I will have that video up later. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.